Welcome to MetanetTV. My name's Jon, and this is part of a series where I profile other MetanetTV team members. Now, today, as a team member, I think we're pretty lucky to have with us. It's Brendan Lee, aka Coin Storage Guru. Brendan, how you doing?
Very well, thank you, Jon, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thanks. And I want to thank you for joining the MetanetTV project because I think we could certainly use your insights.
Yeah, good. I have written a bit of stuff before, and obviously done interviews and videos. But yeah, being able to do that as part of the MetanetTV crew, I think that's sort of allows me to reach an even more diverse audience. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it actually.
Excellent. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself, just for people who've never seen you before or seen the interview that I did with you previously?
Well, I guess I'm an engineer. I live in Australia, in Brisbane. I got into Bitcoin probably in the second half of 2017, so I haven't really been around as long as a lot of the people who are here. But pretty quickly found which way was up and got right into the nitty gritty of things, and decided within sort of the first 6 months of discovering what Bitcoin was that this is something I needed to pursue with vigor. So I started my own company. I started Coin Storage, which manufactures the SafeWords mnemonic key backup kit, which I sell at coinstorage.guru. After that, I was lucky enough to meet James Belding and got to be part of the team that developed Tokenized, which is a really, really exciting piece of the Bitcoin SV ecosystem. It's going to enable tokenization like we haven't yet seen it before in crypto. And just recently, I got a new role as head of technology at Faia Corp, which is a company run by George Samuels, who I have known since sort of early last year. And I spoke to him about what I was trying to do in my next kind of step into the world. And he said, well, that's exactly what he was looking for in a person to join his company. So joined that as head of technology. And I'm sorry, that's my dog who's barking.
That's quite all right.
But in the last couple of days, I've also been asked to join the Bitcoin Association as the manager of education and development. And excuse me, I'll let my dog.
I want to see this dog.
he's there's someone working in the house and making a bit of noise. I think he just wants to go and check it out. But
I was just expecting this big German Shepherd to come and jump on you or something.
No, he's a small little dog.
Right.
If he comes back, I'll introduce him.
Cool. It's a family show.
So with them, I'll be doing basically developing some educational tools, presentations, and delivering content, at hackathons and things like that. So it's actually very, very exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to getting into it.
Right. Okay. So how many people are actually working at the Bitcoin Association?
That's a great question. I do not actually know the answer to that. So I have been dealing with just a couple of people who've contacted me and reached out and said that when they sort of heard that I was moving on from Tokenized, they basically contacted me straight away and said, hey, we think you'd be great for this. And luckily, George at Faia was very open to a flexible working arrangement. And so moving forward, I'm basically going to be doing not quite 50-50. It's about 60-40. So 60% working at Faia and about 40% working at the Bitcoin Association. And that's going to work really well, I think, because with the Bitcoin Association, it's like a wage role, so I get paid for doing the work. Whereas at Faia, I don't get really paid until I find customers who want to, use our services. So
don't tell anyone that. You got to maintain that mystique that you're a highly paid consultant.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one day I hope to be.
Well, we all know the Bitcoin world is rife with positions that will pay you once the company starts earning money, whenever or if ever that is. I think we've
Yeah.
all
Look,
we've
I'm
all been there.
extremely confident in the path that we're taking at Faia and in the services that I think that we're going to be able to deliver. I think we have a pretty unique uh, ability to deliver certain things, and people are going to want that. So yeah, should
Excellent.
be
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
I think they would too. Are they going to send you on trips overseas, and or is it the kind of thing where you have to go into schools and universities?
Look, I think it's going to be all of the above.
Wow.
And so I'm actually heading to North Queensland next week to meet the guys from Weather SV. And we're going and doing a meetup up there. And we're meeting somebody who's wanting to do things in the film and television, and some other guys who are doing some advanced farming. With hydroponics and things like that, and just basically going and seeing what's out there and trying to find ways where we can present a compelling story for integration of Bitcoin as a utility in those industries. So
Nice, and I'm really glad that Cairns is becoming a location for this sort of thing because I would like to go there. I want any excuse to go to Cairns.
yeah, that's right.
It's a
And
lovely place.
one of the things we'll be doing when we're up there is talking to the guys at Travel by Bit,
Mm-hmm.
who have a crypto point of sale system that's actually gaining some pretty big traction. And
Yeah.
so we're going to have the opportunity to sit down and talk to them. And one of the things I'm going to bring up is rolling out Bitcoin SV in their point of sale systems. So
Have they been receptive so far? I guess if they're meeting with you, yes.
Um, yeah, look, I know Caleb, who runs Travel by Bit,
Right.
and he and I, there are things we agree on and there are things we disagree on. And, the one thing about the relationship I have with them is he's always taken time to talk to me, and I've always taken time to talk to him, and we try to be very respectful of each other. And so I think there's a real chance to have a bit of a breakthrough there, and I'm looking forward to catching up with them. Actually, I think it'll be a good chat.
And a good test of your new consultancy skills too.
That's right, exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, as well as doing all that, you've decided to join MetanetTV, which is everyone should know by now. It's a Metanet themed Bitcoin SV media site. We're doing lots of things: writing, video, audio, any music, anything you can possibly imagine. But Brendan, why did you decide to join?
Well, I guess one of the things that I have been doing a little bit on and off is writing about Bitcoin, and I've done that under my own name. I've done a little bit under a pseudonym. I've done some for CoinGeek, and but it's never been something that I've done steadily on a schedule. And so what I'm trying to do now is get more sort of regimented with creating that type of content, and hopefully by not being too ambitious about how often I'm going to push stuff out, I'll actually be able to meet my own goals and create some really quality content that reflects my views of Bitcoin, and hopefully teaches people something maybe that they didn't know about it before, or helps them to imagine new possibilities when they understand what you can actually do with Bitcoin. Because I think there's a lot of people out there who kind of see it and they go, oh, well, it's magical internet money. It's you hodl it, and because there's nothing you can do with it. And we've really got to break through that, because actually there's an amazing array of different things that you can do with Bitcoin today. And this is, we're still dealing with a lot of the hangover from what was done by the people in Bitcoin Core with, shutting down scripting capabilities, removing opcodes, restricting block size, all of these kinds of things. We're still peeling off the layers of, and I think once I referred to it as it's like a giant bouncy castle. except with Bitcoin Core, the whole thing is tied up into a big bundle, and it doesn't even resemble a bouncy castle. It looks just like canvas. And what you have to do is untie all of these different ropes that are keeping the thing as a bundle, and eventually you'll see like one side will pop up, and then the other side will pop up, and then eventually we'll get this giant thing where there's room for everybody and anybody to come in and use it. And I think people are going to have so much fun when they realize what's possible with Bitcoin. You know, one of the things I recall vividly when we were doing tokenized is, you know, we would have a guy in Canberra, a guy here in Brisbane, I'm here at home, and you'd be sending each other transactions with tokens in them. And it was just that feeling of how instantaneous it was. You know, you would send a transaction and it's there. It's like, it's almost instant. But it's not that I sent it directly to his computer. I've sent that out onto the network, and then the network has told his computer, hey, there's this thing for you. And it's really fun when you get it working. And I think when people cotton on to the fact that this is a database that's free for just about anything you can imagine to be built on, then it's going to be very rapid, and people are going to understand why we had to peel all of these restrictive straps and things off and open up the bouncy castle for everyone to jump on. Because you know, without that, when you look at what you can do with Bitcoin Core, you can't really do anything. And like, I completely sympathize with the people who are there, you know, the Warren Buffetts and the Peter Schiffs of the world, who look at it and go, well, it's just crap. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, they're right. That literally does about 1% of 1% of 1% of what's possible. And so it's our job in the next couple of years to get to the first 1%, and then we can open up people's imagination and let them deliver the rest. You know, we're still so few here in Bitcoin SV. My focus is less now on people who are already in cryptocurrency and much more on the people who are outside cryptocurrency, who don't necessarily have a viewpoint on what's a scam and who's a liar and all this kind of stuff. And who just want something that works. And that's what we can deliver. You know, we've all used Bitcoin. We all know how simple and fast it is. So
yeah, well, I mean, that's important, because if people don't understand all of that stuff, then all the same scams and all the same schemes and investment schemes, whether they're scams or just don't know they're scams yet, you know, they're all going to come back, and they're just going to get the new wave of people every time they come in. So it's really important that they know about that. So
exactly.
Well, I'm looking really forward to seeing what this bouncy castle can do. And here at MetanetTV, our section of the castle is called...
It's not the bouncy castle. The bouncy castle does nothing on its own.
Right.
It's the people in the bouncy castle. You know, you've got the guy who does the backflip. You know, you've got the guy who does the triple spin.
My mind is blown, yes. Without the people, bouncy castle is just a giant inflatable castle. Just as long as it doesn't, it's not one of those bouncy castles that comes untethered and, you know, soars up into the air and there's screams of terrified children and parents on the ground. That definitely sounds like some crypto projects I've seen. So anyway, our part of it is focused on the Metanet itself. How much do you know about the Metanet and the Metanet protocol?
Look, I know what I was in the audience when Jack Davies gave the talk about building Metanet graphs, and so, you know, I think I have a reasonably good handle on how the graph itself is built, and how it's you know, how the signatures are used to identify different nodes. And it's actually interesting. I had been working on something a little bit similar for a while, and yeah, I am very, very excited about the Metanet. You know,
so is your dog.
That it's extremely elegant, the way it's been designed, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing. You know, we're already seeing people building Metanet graphs on Bitcoin, And so there was a pretty, like, and they were all very primitive tools at the moment, but there are already tools out there, and it will not be long before people are building amazing and polished experiences on top of this stuff. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Excellent. I can't wait to see that. Do you have anything in mind for your first project for MetanetTV? And when I say project, I mean article.
TV. For my first article, well, I guess probably most of the stuff that I've done, I kind of generally come up with it as I'm writing it. So
Right.
I'll be cutting an onion or whatever, and I'll have a flash of inspiration, and then just go and hammer out an article in about 2 hours, and then it's
That's
done.
usually how I do it too.
So, usually it's some kind of what's possible on the MetaNet. And so I guess one of the things that I've been really enjoying is using Twitch, and so maybe I'll have a look at what the possibilities are with the MetaNet of a social network, and how that might work in terms of actually, how you might use it and how you might interface with it.
Right, that sounds like an excellent idea, and I look forward to reading it. To be honest, a lot of people who are watching this, are probably watching it after this has already been done, so it's more of an introduction. So, and I hope we all have the same jobs by the time this goes up too. Otherwise, or maybe MetanetTV will be such a success that none of us have any other jobs at all. We can only hope.
That'd be interesting.
Okay, well, for now, you are wearing many hats. So do you want to tell everyone where they can find you, where they can hear your thoughts? Just
yeah, so you can hear my thoughts on Twitter. I am at Coin Storage Guru, so all one word. Otherwise, I'm on Twitch, where I'm just Brendan Lee. And I don't go on Reddit anymore. I haven't logged into Reddit in months. So those are the two main places. I'm in a few of the Telegram groups. If you want to ever get me on Telegram, I'm at _beer engineer with underscores.
The beer engineer. You need that on business cards.
Engineer. That's what I was on Reddit too for a long time. So
that's a job
I came up with that back in maybe 2010 or something like that. But otherwise, I think the best place to get me is Twitter. My DMs are just open, so you feel free to just hit me with a message if you want to talk to me, or you can send me an email. I'm just Brendan at faiacorp.com.
And Faia Corp spelled FAIA.
FAIACORP.com.
That's right. We're not just a pair of Aussies saying fire funny. It's actually Faia.
No, Faia.
FAIA.com.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming back and talking to us again, Brendan. I look forward to seeing what comes next.
My pleasure, John. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.